Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the long absence. I've kind of been in a creative funk and I just haven't been in the mood to film, frankly. I've just kind of had like low drive, low energy, so also I was sick a little bit. If I'm gone for a while, then you could just see me on all my other social media accounts if you are concerned about where I am. I've been very active on Instagram lately. If that is something that you want to see, follow me if you like. And also, if you want to know how to apply foundation with 3 different types of brushes, then continue to watch this video and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. Instead of just rambling a lot, let's just get right into the video. So YouTube is kind of just a review type of world right now. I don't really see too many tutorials or how-to videos that often, and I kind of wanted to change that, and I wanted to show you guys some more basic stuff that you could learn, just tutorials in general, because that's really where my strength lies. I like teaching people things, so I thought I would do a video where I was teaching you guys how to apply foundation with a brush. I feel like as far as makeup application goes, everyone's obsessed with using beauty blenders or otherwise other beauty sponges. I see a lot of professional makeup artists using brushes. I think that it's important to learn how to do both, especially if you are somebody that wants to apply makeup on people in the future, because it's a very sanitary way to apply makeup, and I think it's the preferred method just because sponges hold so much bacteria. Not that brushes don't, but it's a lot easier to clean brushes than it is to clean beauty blenders, and it's a lot less expensive because you're not always replacing the jewels that often. So I'm going to be using 3 different brushes for this video. There is the standard flat foundation brush. This one is from BellaPRO, but every brand pretty much has a brush like this. And then there is the stippling brush. This is my large one that I have from Crown, and also this is from BellaPRO too, but this is a standard flat kabuki brush, and I think this is like the most preferred method of applying foundation because it just leaves the least amount of streaks and it's very dense and compact. So these are the standard types of brushes that you will see makeup artists use to apply foundation with. So what I will be doing, because these are less my favorite ways of applying foundation, I'm going to be using this flat brush on this side and the stippling brush on this side, and then I'm just going to take it all off, and then I'm going to go over the entire face showing you guys how to use this brush to apply foundation with. There's different methods, different techniques for all, and just to keep everything kind of flat and simple, I wanted to use one foundation. I was going to use a cream foundation because typically I like to apply cream or stick foundations with a brush, but I know that for a fact most people are using liquid foundations, so I'm going in with my favorite Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation. This is a standard liquid foundation and it has a medium to full coverage, so I thought that would also be kind of standard for most people. They have a medium to full coverage foundation for their typical day-to-day routine, so I thought that that would be a nice way to kind of round everything out and show you guys that you could use a liquid foundation with a brush application, and it's going to come out the same as if you were to use a cream foundation. There's no powder foundations involved with any makeup application. The most worldwide used formula for a foundation is a liquid form, so that's why I'm using that. So the only makeup that I have on my face right now is eyebrows and a lipstick, which is kind of making me look like I got my eyebrows microbladed and then someone came and murdered me and dumped me in a lake, and then this is how they found the body. I look very gray and pale right now. I kind of just wanted to have a more neutral look so that all the focus can be on the foundation application. So without further ado, let's get into applying the foundation. I'm just going to shake this up a little bit and kind of go through each brush. The flat brush is kind of like a very basic and very difficult method to apply foundation with, in my opinion, because it doesn't really have any blending qualities to it. It's kind of flat and doesn't really have a lot of dimension to it. So this is actually a type of brush that I use for applying my face masks. It does get very dirty, but I have cleaned it off with my Cinema Secrets makeup brush cleaner and dry it off, and it's all ready to go. So this is probably going to be the most difficult, so I'm going to go the most in-depth with this on how to apply it if this is all that you had. I know when I first started doing makeup, all I had was a flat foundation brush that I think had from e.l.f. If this is all that you have and all that you use, then I can show you how to make this work. And then when it comes to the stippling brush, it has a very specific technique to applying it because there's nothing that's going to really concentrate the product in one area in particular. It's going to disperse it all over the place. So what you need to be careful about is making sure that you blend it all evenly. This has the most tendency to create streaks. So it's very important to blend this out in a very specific way to make sure that you don't get either of that. Plus, the application for this type of brush is very sheer, and that's why I think that a lot of makeup artists use this on models in particular, because this is going to leave a very natural finish to the skin. And then the kabuki brush is something that everybody uses across the scale, whether it's people on YouTube or it is makeup artists, because it applies the most dense amount of product, but it also has that stiffness and that dimension to be able to blend it out evenly and also leave enough product on the face so that it covers everything that needs to be covered and gives you a full coverage finish. This is my preferred method as well if I am using a brush. So this is my favorite, so this is why I'm going to use it all over the face at the end. So I'm going to zoom you guys in. So once again, on this side of the face, I am going to use the flat brush. It's important when you're using this type of brush that you go in small increments. So I'm only applying the smallest amount at first. So only this much is on the brush. And I'm just going to kind of swipe it on across the largest sections of the face. And what I will say this brush is good for is it's really good at getting in the creases of the nose, in the creases of the eye, whereas sponges and other types of brushes are very challenging to work with when it comes to those areas. You could get around the mouth line, around the eyebrows if you already do them, around the ears, down the jaw. But what becomes challenging is that once you have everything evenly distributed, you need to blend it out and you need to make sure that everything is seamless and put together. And that's where it gets a little bit difficult because this type of brush isn't really the best for blending things out. So what I do is I take it around the areas that need to be blended and I just pat, kind of like you would do with a beauty blender. If I were to swipe or maybe do circular motions, it would take off the product and lift it and also leave streaks. So it's important that when you do apply foundation with this type of brush to just pat. It's kind of comparable to if you were to use a type of brush like this when you are applying eyeshadow, that you just pat the product in as opposed to swiping it, because then it carries the product over to areas that you don't want it in. So already we have one layer on and it looks pretty medium coverage, medium to full at this point, and that was just with the tiniest amount. This is going to suck up the least amount of product out of any brush that you use because of its flat surfaces. So that's why it's really important to go in with the smallest amount first and then softly build it up. Because right now I don't even need to build it up if I don't want to, but I will show you guys how you can build it up, because we definitely can't go in with a second layer and brush, and swipe, because it's going to take off the product and leave streaks again, and it's going to make you look a little bit more cakey. So we're going to take the smallest amount again, even smaller than your first dose. Very, very, very small amount. And then you're just going to pinpoint the areas where you feel like you need the most coverage and just pat and dot over those areas. And then go in a little bit more aggressively to pat and blend it out. This is going to make sure that you were the least cakey and that you are leaving an even layer. And make sure that you are also being very soft, not too aggressive, because this foundation will blend out, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. And if you do it too aggressively, you're just going to lift the foundation, lift the product. It's almost like a more challenging beauty blender. So if I were to press it in too heavily, it kind of leaves a little bit of a mark, streaks, etc., and it lifted up the product a little bit. So that's why I do soft patting. When you go around areas that are very challenging to get around, like the eyebrow and in the corner of the eye, say I were to have eyeshadow on, this is very dangerous. So you have to be very cool and collected when you are applying in these areas. So it is perfectly acceptable to swipe around those areas, but then when you want to blend it out, target around that area and just pat like we do for the rest of the face, because you definitely don't want those streaks. Alright, so we have perfectly even coverage, everything looks seamless, everything looks streaky, everything looks cakey, and my skin on this side looks so much better than it does on this side. First brush done. Now we're going to go in with something that could be a little bit more challenging and is going to leave a much different finish than on this side. This is a stippling brush, very large, very fluffy, and it's very intimidating. Like, I remember for years I would never use a stippling brush if I had one in a kit because I just didn't know how to work with it, and that's kind of why recently I just used this for cream contour application. So when it comes to this brush, we can't really apply the foundation on top of it in the same way that we did the other one and the same way that I'm going to do with the kabuki brush. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to put it on our hand, or you could use a glass coaster, anything like that, just to make things more sanitary, but I'm just going to use my hand. And I'm just going to apply the foundation right there. I'm not going to start out with too much, just to keep everything kind of, you know, the same. And then I'm actually going to dip my hand into it and just... The reason I do this is because the stippling brush is so thin that the product would just get everywhere and it would be really messy and it would possibly like dilute the foundation too much. So applying it like this is just a much better way to make sure that you're going to get the most coverage that you desire without too messy of an application. So now that we have the foundation dotted pretty evenly across the face, then I'm going to go in with patting motions and then swirling motions with this brush. So first I am patting, and as you can see, it's leaving so many brush strokes. So now we're just going to lightly sweep, and it just takes care of all of those brush strokes. Now, what's challenging about this brush is that you can't get into all those creases like you can with the flat brush, which is why I don't really like this application. And it definitely leaves the most amount of streaks on the nose. If I pull my nose a certain way, I could get into all those crevices and push it into the pores, just get a better application. So just patting and then swirling, patting and swirling. Now, as you can see, medium to light coverage on this side, full coverage here. Now, I did do a second layer on here, and I am going to do a second layer in a minute, but you could just see how it just completely like sheared it out more. And in my opinion, it got matte and dry way quicker than it did on this side. It is a matte foundation, but it's more of a comfort matte. Usually it will remain dewy for a bit until I set it, and then it'll be a comfortable matte. But this side, I feel like it mattified right away. But this side still has some of a glossy sheen to it. This side really doesn't have too much. So now we're going to go in with the second layer, and we're just going to go in with a light second layer around the areas where we need more coverage. So now you have to be careful about your swirling and more so focus on patting it in and then focus on swirling, because once you swirl it, it's going to pick up the foundation layer that you already put on. So I'm just going to focus on patting it in first and then wait till I feel like it's dry enough and then swirl it to blend it. Okay, I feel like it's dry enough, so now I'm just going to blend. Now that was a whole second layer, but that's the tricky thing about a stippling brush, is stippling really means to just pat it in, and then when you want to actually blend it, then you have to swirl it around. And remember, when you're swirling, to keep it light, keep it airy, almost like an airbrush type of finish, not to, you know, swirl it around. I'm not even going to do it because that's giving me anxiety. If you were to be too forceful in your application, then it would completely ruin the look. So remember with these two brushes to have a light hand. When it comes to the kabuki brush, it's a little bit different, but for the most part, these two you want to have a light hand and focus on patting. And then with this one, and swirl to blend. With this one, just keep patting and being slow and not aggressive in your patting motions, and then you will be good to go with these two types of brushes. Alright, so now that I'm done with both of these sides, I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and then we're going to round everything out with the kabuki brush. Okay, so I'm now barefaced again, and I had to take a little break because my face was all red, so I had to wait a little bit, but we are good to go for the rest of the foundation application. And without further ado, we are going to use the kabuki brush. Now for this one, unlike the stippling brush, you can put foundation directly on top of it because of how densely a kabuki brush is packed. We're not going to run the risk of it sliding everywhere and creating uneven distribution. Now I would say that this is probably the most like a beauty blender, that it has the most seamless application, but it also has a very similar pattern of application, in that I place it directly on the center, and then I just put it into the skin, kind of dotting it all over the face, because if I were to just put it right here and then blend it out, I would have like most concentration of product here and it wouldn't distribute evenly, so I dot it on, and then instead of pouncing, I do circular motions just to start, because you definitely don't want to swirl with a beauty blender. I do swirl it, and then I start pouncing it into the skin. So in many ways it is like a beauty sponge, but it is also a little bit more versatile in that you can swirl it as well. I would say for people that are worried about getting streaks, this is probably the best method to do, is to evenly distribute it across the face first, then start buffing and swirling, and then to make sure that you get all the brush strokes out, to just pat it. Because when it comes to a brush like this, it is so uniquely designed that it really does give you the best application, and rarely does it ever streak if you use this method. It's very fair to be afraid of foundation brushes in all their different forms, but it's nothing that you cannot do or conquer or handle. It's almost like not only just similar to a beauty sponge application, but it's also incredibly similar to if we took the flat foundation brush and the stippling brush and combined both of those methods together. And you also get the benefit of it applying the most amount of product without sucking any of it up, because when you have densely packed bristles like this, it makes it so that the foundation has a tougher time of sinking down into the bottom, as opposed to a stippling brush. And also the flat brush has that kind of consistency where product slides off of it because it doesn't absorb anything, so that kind of can give you more of a cakey finish. But because of this, it absorbs just a little bit but not too much, so that you get the most seamless application. The only thing that is tricky is that this type of brush in particular is very difficult to clean, and that's why it's also similar to the beauty blender, because a lot of stuff and bacteria gets trapped really deep below, almost to the root of the brush, so that it becomes very difficult to clean it out, and the foundation just builds up in there and gets really cakey and almost like a mousse-like texture. Like cleaning this brush, like deep cleaning it, is like one of the most like gross things ever, because I will literally squeeze foundation out of it and it comes out like almost in like a rock solid form. Really gross. But it's still better than cleaning a beauty blender, because the beauty sponge just absorbs all of the soap and water, and you could squeeze it all out, but you're not really going to be squeezing out any of the foundation, so the foundation is just gonna sit and get trapped in there, and you might clean out all the bacteria, but you're not going to clean out the beauty sponge of any of the foundation itself, except if it's on the outer layer. So you can only imagine how much product is really stuck in there. But with a foundation brush, you could actually see it and you could take it out. It's just going to be a very lengthy process. I would say definitely that the stippling brush and the flat brush are probably the easiest ones to clean, but as you can see, I have a very seamless, almost full coverage application of this foundation. I'm not going to do a second layer just because I want to give my skin a break for the day. This is by far my favorite way to apply foundation. You can't see my pores anymore because I was able to pat it all in. I got great coverage around the nose. I have great coverage around the eyebrows and I wasn't hitting them. It all blended out into my hairline and into my ears properly. And that was just with 2 drops of the foundation. Everything around my mouth is nice and even. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you learned a lot about foundation application when it comes to different types of brushes, and that you maybe are a little bit less afraid to start practicing and using them. Definitely practice on yourself first, just to get the technique and the format down so that you could do it on clients in the future if that is something that you are pursuing. I think that it's something that is important to know, and that sponges can be a great fix but aren't always the best or most cost-efficient way to do foundation on people. So hopefully I taught you guys some things and you are able to use these techniques in your everyday routine. And once again, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel please as well. We hit 65 and I couldn't be more happy with the attention that my channel is getting and all of you guys for subscribing, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. So thank you for subscribing. But if you are curious about seeing my videos when they upload, right when they upload, then hit the notification bell as well. This is not something that you have to do, but I think that it's just better because of the YouTube algorithm. And if I'm not posting as frequently, it is important so that you guys can stay up to date on my videos. And once again, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.